Well, you found the home that you really like and you're ready to maybe move forward with putting down an offer, but you haven't been pre-approved yet. How long is it going to take to get that done? We'll talk about the process next and why it's important to be ahead of the curve. Welcome into the Smart Mortgage Show. I'm Ben George with Bill Litton at Cross Country Mortgage, his office there in Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania. Bill, good to see you again. How's everything going in the office?
Ben, everything's great. Everything's great. Busy. Weather's getting nice, so it's all good stuff.
I love it. I know pre-approval is something we discuss quite a bit, but I think this is a little more specific a scenario and a good time to remind people about the pre-approval process and why it's so important. But before we get into the specific scenario of, hey, look, I found a home, found something I really like. We're prepared to maybe move forward. We think this is the home we want to be in, but we also think it might be in demand, so we need to act quick, but we're not pre-approved yet. How long is it going to take? So we'll work through that in just a second. But first off, for anyone that hasn't gone through this process before, let's first lay out pre-approval and pre-qualification, two things that sound very similar, but they're very different when you're going through this process. Now, if you've heard this before, skip ahead to how Bill would answer this question, but I think it's important to lead off here.
Yeah, and I don't think we could talk about it enough because I still see a lot of confusion between pre-qualification and pre-approval. A pre-qualification is essentially a very 1,000-foot up cursory view, no detail, asking a few questions and saying, yeah, you might be able to buy a $500,000 house. No verifications of income or funds to close, no review of credit report. So it's really just conversational. We actually don't allow any letters to leave our branch that say the word pre-qualification on them because it's too confusing. People might think that they could actually buy a house with it and they might not be able to. Pre-approval could mean different things to different lenders, but to us, it means we're 100% confident that we can deliver the financing. You're not going to put a deposit check on a house, pay for an appraisal, pay for a home inspection, any other inspections that you might do, all to find out that you don't qualify to buy the house. And now you've got $10,000 that you've put on the line. Some of it you've spent and you definitely can't get it back. And now the lender says, we can't get you a loan, and maybe no lender can. So pre-approval, especially to us, means we've reviewed the credit, we've reviewed the income, we've reviewed the funds to close, we've looked at all of the underwriting guidelines. You meet all of the guidelines, and that letter is an airtight ticket to say, we will have the funds for you available on the day of your settlement date.
Okay, perfect. So that's why it's so important to understand the difference. And obviously it sounds like pre-approval would take longer than pre-qualification because you're going through more factors. So let's get into this question then, Bill. For anyone that's looking for a quick turnaround in order to try to buy or at least put in an offer on a home that they're really interested in, how long will that pre-approval take? How quickly can you get it done?
So we always say we work at your pace. So if somebody calls, let's say they call at 5 o'clock on a Friday and they want to make an offer by 6, as long as they cooperate with us, we can have a pre-approval review. Again, that's a pre-approval looking at all the important information. We could have it done in an hour. Okay. But I will tell you, Ben, that is not the preferred method. We definitely will jump and move quickly, but what we like to do is to go through what we call a mortgage planning process where before, if you're running through the house and you're trying to take in the house and understand it, and you're wondering if you're going to get pre-approved, you're not even fully present feeling the house that you're in. We'd rather get the pre-approval completed and then review the pre-approval with you, go over all of the details, make sure that everything makes sense, and then start shopping for the home. So that's definitely the preferred method.
Okay, so things can get done pretty efficiently if that is your true target. Let's just stick with that one first, Bill. If you're looking for that quick 1 hour turnaround time, what do you need to be prepared with to make it as quick and as seamless as possible?
So really it's, in most cases, can you put your hands on your pay stubs and your W-2s and upload them into our secure portal so we can review them? Can we verify your funds to close? Provide a little bit of information online so we can review your credit report. And again, as long as you're in a position to provide a very, we would consider not even a whole stack of paperwork, right? Some limited information that people can usually put their hands on pretty easily, we can knock out the pre-approval quickly.
All right. That's good to know. So again, go to smartmortgageshow.com to learn more about Bill Litton and the team there at Cross Country Mortgage. And if you need to get pre-approved, now is the time to be doing so. Bill, for those that are maybe looking at a monthly timeline rather than an hourly timeline for that home buying, what are some other things you're going to walk through in that mortgage process to help them be best positioned when it comes time to put that offer in?
So we're going to want to know, okay, what is your timeline? How does your timeline line up with if you're renting? Do you have a lease that you have to see through to the end? Can you break your lease? Can you go month to month? Do you own a home? Do you have to sell the home first? Can you buy without selling? What kind of payment range are you comfortable with? How does that payment fit into your budget? Is that payment going to still allow you to meet all your other financial obligations and your financial goals of what do you have saved for retirement? Did you fully fund your 401k? Also, strategies on paying down the mortgage in different ways to save money and interest over time. So, to your point, Ben, we can move quick. And by the way, some people are just really financially super sound and very financially literate, and they really don't need as much of that hand holding as we give. Although I find most people, since we just sit here and do this all day, every day, there's things they're not considering that we are, but some people can do it on the fly more efficiently. But we find most people to go through all of that information and make sure we've touched on all the important stuff. It's a big benefit. And really it's the far better and preferred way to do it.
All right. Well, you can begin that pre-approval process or just the mortgage process in general with a free 15-minute loan consultation. Text LEND to 21,000 to get that, or just visit us online, smartmortgageshow.com. Any questions you might have about the home buying process or the mortgage process, you can probably find it on our channel, YouTube channel, and previous episodes as well, as we've gone through quite a bit of topics. And if you have questions for Bill and you want to maybe leave them here as a comment on the channel, we'd appreciate that as well. We'll see if we can't feature one of those on a future episode. But good stuff, Bill. Again, pre-approval, so much more than pre-qualification. You have hammered that home with me, so I appreciate it. Hopefully we did that same thing for the audience as well, and anyone that's looking to buy a home, I think is so important. So thanks for taking us through that process.
Yeah, thank you so much. And as you said, Ben, we're always here to talk through the process, help you understand the details. So reach out anytime, and we're happy to help.
Very good. Well, thanks for being a part of the Smart Mortgage Show this week. We'll have another one coming soon, so please subscribe, and we'll talk to you then.
Thank you.
This program is for informational purposes only. Please consult a qualified professional before taking any action. Bill Litton is a loan advisor and regional president with Cross Country Mortgage, NMLS number 147060.